A jury is now deliberating the case against the Owl's Head man charged with the killing of a 22-month-old toddler.
24-year-old Isaiah Scott is charged with manslaughter for the death of Quayshawn Wilson in May of last year in Thomaston. In closing arguments today, the defense claimed there was no evidence that Scott killed or put his hands on Wilson.
They say the state is leaving it up to the jurors to speculate what happened and stress they can only make a decision if they believe beyond a reasonable doubt Scott committed the crime. Now, the state cited Scott's varying reactions while the crime was being investigated and called the claim that somebody else could have hurt the child while performing CPR utterly absurd.
According to the Midcoast Villager, the jury did not reach a verdict today and will continue deliberations Wednesday morning.